Okay, so you're going to be, or you are here in town visiting for, vacation or something like that. Or maybe you're here on an official house hunting business. Anyway, you wake up the next morning after you've gotten into town and, breakfast, huh? Yeah. Don't worry, we've got the best spots and we're gonna tell you all about them in about 8 seconds. Sparrow Bakery. First up is Sparrow Bakery. Sparrow is located up in Northwest Crossing. Now, if you're not familiar with Northwest Crossing, it is the most well-known, all-inclusive destination neighborhood that we have here in Bend. I say all-inclusive because it includes everything. It's basically like its own town. There are stunning, incredible homes of all types of different architectural styles, but there's also shopping, dining, and even commercial spaces. Live workspaces. Heck, there's even medical spaces up here. Like I said, it's got everything. Schools, the whole works. Sorry, I got off track. We're talking about breakfast. Now, Sparrow's main claim to fame is the ocean roll. If there is one thing that says this is Bend, and we're talking about food, it has to be the ocean roll. It's like a croissant that's shaped like a cinnamon roll, but it's not crazy sweet. It's subtle, delicious, and has like this vanilla cardamom light glaze on top of it. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. Sorry. So aside from that, Sparrow Bakery also has a ton of other fresh baked goodies and items, as well as some actual breakfast items. Now, their menu isn't huge, but what they do very, very well. They also have a great coffee bar. I have enjoyed many a latte from Sparrow myself. Pro tip, it's not like a full service restaurant, so you're not gonna be like seated at a table, so get there early or later. I mean, if you show up at 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning, there's gonna be a line down the block to get in. And then once you actually do get in, you'll have nowhere else to sit. All right, now we've got 4 more in the hopper to talk about, but before we get to those, I have a question for you. Do you want to know more about Bend living, the recreation, the current events, the real estate? Then you really must. That's right, down there. I hate asking, but we need your subscription. Subscribe, hit the little bell notification, then you'll know about all our videos all the time. And maybe while you're at it, smash that like button. That way YouTube knows that we're providing good value to you, and they'll help the channel as well. Just a thought, Mr. Fox, if you know what that reference was, leave me a comment. Next, we got 4 more to go. Okay, Cafe Sintra. This is a great breakfast spot right in the heart of downtown Bend. So it's a really nice place that you can walk to if you're staying at one of the hotels that are right in the downtown area there. If you're staying at the Oxford or something, it's just right around the corner. Great spot to catch some grub. Actually, I think it's called Sintra Restaurant now, because there were 2 locations, but now they're owned by different owners. In either case, the other one's down in Sun River. If you find yourself in Sun River, go to the Cafe Sintra down there as well. Dynamite. Here in Bend, they have their great location. It's right on Bond Street. The coffee element of it is right on point. The baristas are killing it. The vibe inside is really nice. And specifically on the menu, Sintra crushes it on the eggs. They have a variety of great Benedicts, omelets, scrambles. They also have crepes, pancakes, French toast, waffles, that kind of stuff as well. The usual suspects. It's also an order at the counter type place, so it can be really full and busy, but I've always been pretty lucky getting a table there. It's worked out really well. Jackson's Corner. This next location I almost forgot about. Not because it isn't good, far from that, but it's just like, it's a place that's been around for so long that you kind of almost, overlook it. And I personally don't really think of it as a breakfast spot, although I've eaten breakfast there many times. I personally like to grab lunch there, okay? Either way, Jackson's is good. All the food's good. We'll get back to that in a moment. Jackson's Corner is located on the corner of Delaware and Broadway. It's a fantastic historic old building that actually used to be a market, and now it's a mainstay boutique restaurant. You can actually grab breakfast, lunch, or dinner there. The inside actually still carries that kind of market feel because they've got a bunch of glass cases in the back where you can go and grab beverages. And then of course the inside is been basically preserved. It's got a lot of brick on the wall. It's just got a really, really cool vibe on the inside. One of the coolest atmospheres on this entire list. But then the food comes and it gets better. The menu is very, how do I describe it? Boutique-esque. There are not a bunch of options for breakfast like maybe some of the other places, but it's like classic breakfast food that's been kind of like new age fusionified, right? They use a lot of arugula and aiolis and other fancy chef words to describe their amazing dishes. You'd think I know more about that because my brother's a chef, and I kind of do, but anyway. The point is that it's delicious, and Jackson's Corner probably doesn't get the credit that it deserves. Definitely underrated. Go check it out. Next up, McKays Cottage. Okay, we're getting close to the end, so we're gonna start talking about one of the two heaviest hitters here in the breakfast scene, McKays Cottage. Now, McKays isn't super centrally located. It is on the north side, but the cool part about it is it is really close to the river. You can enjoy a nice breakfast, and then when you're finished, you can walk across the street, go to Sawyer Park, take a nice, beautiful stroll along the river, and digest. Okay, now I say heavy hitter because McKays and the last one we're gonna talk about always finish like 1 and 2 in the best breakfast spots in Bend. McKays is a house, an old cottage that has been transformed into a restaurant. Now, McKays is a full sit-down restaurant, and it is really busy. So you're gonna need to get there early, put your name in. You might have to wait a little bit before getting to sit down and enjoy your meal. Just FYI. In fact, the house itself is so small that seating is fairly limited inside, but they have a huge outdoor front patio with seating. In the summer, it's fantastic. In the winter, you know, even the best heat lamps are still kind of cold. McKays offers classic American breakfast fare. You'll find all the classics that you know and love, from fluffy pancakes and waffles to savory omelets and breakfast burritos. But what really sets McKays apart is their attention to detail. Everything is made from scratch using high quality ingredients, and the portions are large enough to satisfy even the hardiest of appetites. Victorian Cafe. Now, I'm not saying that we saved the best for last. You'll just have to read into that. But I will say that this is always one of the top 2 finalists for Best Breakfast in Bend. And in fact, on their own website, they'll claim that they've won Best Breakfast in Bend for, 15, 25, however many years, depending on who you ask or what publication does these rankings. Now, for me, what I think is really unique and interesting is the vibe and how it's so different from McKays Cottage. If McKays is light and bright, then Victorian Cafe, also known as the Vic, is like dark and moody. If McKays is a mimosa, the Vic is like a pepper-infused vodka Bloody Mary. Yes, that's the best way to describe the 2 differences between those restaurants. Okay, so located on the roundabout of Galveston and 14th, AKA the Flaming Chicken Roundabout, sits this cute little cottage in the trees, serving great breakfast fare, and like I already mentioned, great Bloody Marys. You see, it wasn't just a good descriptive talking point, they really do serve amazing Bloody Marys. This is yet again a very busy, full-service sit-down restaurant. So yes, get your name in early, and there may be a bit of a wait. If you do find yourself at a wait, you can simply walk up and down Galveston Boulevard. There are lots of great shopping and shops and things along there that you can check out if you need to kill time. Now, as far as the food goes, it also serves classic American breakfast fare, but there's usually some sort of a twist to it that makes it more interesting. They have an exquisite variety of fantastic eggs Benedicts and omelets, the most gluttonous biscuits and gravy you've ever seen. It's called the 18-wheeler. It's definitely hangover food to go with that Bloody Mary. And then what gets me in trouble is the French toast. Their normal French toast is great, but when they do like a chef special on it, they usually like roll it and crust it in some really yummy, it's fantastic. Yeah, they also serve lunch there too. So if you happen to get a late start, they got you covered there too. So are you hungry? I'm hungry. Dang. Thanks a lot for coming along with us. That was our top 5 breakfast spots in Bend. If you are thinking of moving to the area or need to sell because you live in the area, point is, my team and I would love to be your resource of choice. Thanks again for watching, and we will see you next week over in the next video. Cheers. And my computer just died. Crap. Do I have a charger in here? Do I? Probably don't. And I don't. We're gonna take a tea.